Hello, I'm Dr. Christina Reese, and today I want to talk about emotion regulation. Emotion regulation is being able to manage the emotions that you feel on a daily basis. We all have a lot of emotions that we feel every day. In fact, our emotions and our feelings are changing about every 60 seconds. So if you're not liking the emotion that you're feeling right now, well, just wait a minute, literally, because another emotion is coming right behind this one. So it's important to understand your emotions and to know how to use them in ways that help you. Now, there are a few parts to emotion regulation. The first is knowing what your emotions are. When we can name our emotions and have a good vocabulary to use to explain them, it just helps other people to have clear communication from us about what's going on for us in this moment. For instance, we have lots of different emotions. There is mad, sad, happy, and fear. However, there's a lot of emotions even underneath those. So under mad, there's frustrated when you're trying to do something and it's not working out the way you want it to. Under sad, there is disappointed, like when you're looking forward to something and then it doesn't happen. Under happy, there's excited, like on the last day of school before summer break. Under fear, there's also worry or anxious when you're not sure how something's going to turn out. So we have so many emotions, and it's important to know what they all do and how to use them in ways that help you and that help others to understand how you're feeling at this moment. I could say, I'm so mad right now. But if I'm actually working on trying to fix something and I'm not able to fix it and it looks like I'm going to have to go buy a replacement, well, then I'm probably not mad. I'm probably frustrated. So instead of saying to my family member or friend, I'm so mad right now, if I can say, I'm so frustrated right now because I can't get this to work, that's going to be a much clearer picture about what I'm actually feeling in this moment. And then my friend or my family member is going to better understand what's happening for me right now. So it's important to know what your emotions are and have a good vocabulary for being able to talk about them. That way other people can understand you better. Now, knowing what your emotions are is the first step. The second step is being able to express them appropriately. So being able to show them in a way that does not hurt yourself or anybody else, verbally or physically. So when you're feeling mad or sad, how do you show that? How do you display it for others to see? When you're feeling mad, do you throw things, yell and scream, call other people names? Well, that is a way of communicating your emotions or showing your emotions that can distract people from actually hearing what you have to say. In fact, sometimes our behaviors speak louder than words. And when our behaviors are louder than our words, then people are busy noticing our behaviors and managing our behaviors because we're not doing a good job of managing them ourselves. That means that they don't have the time to listen to and support us in the way that we probably need them to at that moment. So in order to get the support that we actually want and need, it's important to be able to express those emotions appropriately. So being able to use words in a respectful way to say, I am so mad right now about this thing, or I'm so frustrated right now because I cannot get this thing to work and I'm going to have to go buy a replacement part. Again, expressing it appropriately allows others to actually hear what you have to say. The third part, after we know what our emotions are and we know how to appropriately express them, is to know how to cope and calm them. This is the third part of emotion regulation. How do you cope with your emotions or calm them? Now, coping skills might be a term that you're familiar with. We therapists use it a lot, but really all that it means is that you're having an emotion that feels really big, and we just need to bring it down a little bit. Now, that does not mean that we are taking the emotion away or getting rid of it. It's still going to be there. If it's big, it's hard to manage. We just need to shrink it down to size a little bit to take the edge off of that emotion, so that instead of the emotion being in control of me, which is where typically a lot of bad decisions are made, instead, when I shrink that emotion down with a coping skill, I am now in control of the emotion and can make some good decisions. So again, it's not getting rid of the emotion. It's just bringing it down so that I can manage it instead of it controlling me. Now, what are some things that we can do that are good coping skills, that are good emotion regulation? Well, things that calm us. So think about things that bring you peace. For me, I feel so very peaceful when I'm at the beach. Now, I don't live at the beach, and I can't always go to the beach, but I do have on my desk a picture of the beach. And sometimes I look at it for just a minute or two to take like a 60-second vacation to what I call my happy place. Sometimes just taking a few deep breaths and looking at that picture can lower my blood pressure, calm me down a little bit. Now, I mentioned deep breaths. The reason that deep breathing is so effective for calming us down is that when we are starting to get upset about something, when the alert system in our brain is going off and saying, this is not good, something bad is happening to us, our alert system sends a message to our adrenal gland to release adrenaline. And when that happens, it raises our blood pressure. It increases our heartbeat, which can also constrict our lungs and make our muscles tight. So when we take those deep breaths, we are actually re-regulating our breathing and our respiratory system, which can also impact our heart rate, balancing it back out to a normal rhythm. So taking deep breaths is a really great way to calm your body down when your emotions are getting kind of big. Other things that are very, very helpful include drawing or coloring. So tapping into your creative side, playing music or singing along to music is calming. How many of you, when you're driving along and you're starting to get a little frustrated about traffic, turn up the radio and sing along to your favorite song? That is a really great way to calm yourself down. Other ways that are very effective are things that we can do using our 5 senses. So our 5 senses are very calming for us, and in fact, very grounding. We call them grounding because it's like your feet are firmly planted on the floor and you're connected to the earth beneath you. You are grounded, you are solid, you are calm. And so our 5 senses do that for us. So think about something that you can do for each of your 5 senses that is calming. Things like for your sense of hearing, listening to something that's calming. Perhaps you take a walk outside and just listen to the birds chirping or the wind blowing, and that calms you. Perhaps on your phone, since a lot of us have them these days, you can open an app that has some relaxation music that you can listen to for a couple of minutes. Along with those apps, a lot of times is a visual, the beach or the forest or a stream. And so you can engage two senses that way, the sense of sight, looking at that video that goes with the music, and listening to the relaxation music. So engaging two of your senses is an even faster way to calm yourself. For the sense of smell and the sense of taste, there are two things to keep in mind. When we are starting to escalate, when we are starting to get anxious or angry, our goal is to bring us back down to baseline, to our balance, to our normal state of being. So to calm us down, we can use things, tastes and smells that are sweet, a piece of fruit or a little piece of candy. For when we are feeling a little low and slow and we're having a hard time getting started and coming up to baseline or up to balance, using something, a taste or a smell that's a little spicy, cinnamon or peppermint. Now, you can use a taste. You can also use a smell. Essential oils are really helpful for that. You can put them on a cotton ball and carry them in a Ziploc bag in your pocket and be able to use them when you feel yourself either starting to get a little angry and needing to calm down, or starting to feel a little low and slow and needing a little bit of a pep up. So these are just some quick things that you can do to take care of those emotions. And it's really important because we all have emotions and they color our world. A world without emotions is like a black and white world. But when we use our emotions, all of a sudden, we recognize all the colors that we've been missing all along. So use those emotions, but use them appropriately. Know which ones you have. We all have the same ones. Know how to use them appropriately and express them appropriately. And know how to cope and calm them, because that's important for you to stay in control instead of your emotions being in control of you. Have a great day.